Excited to meet you.
Yeah.
You have co-hosted on the morning show a number of times, but virtually. So this is the first time we're actually meeting. So hello, Mr. Law.
Hey, it's so great to have you here in Calgary. You guys have covered the Stampede on TMS so much, but we got you out here and you have had like the biggest crash course in Calgary Stampede I think I've ever seen, arriving on Canada Day, and you've done it like you've done it all. You've been initiated.
Gosh. Oh yeah, Joel Thomason from Country 105. She gave me I did a shoey.
You did a shoey.
I rode a bull, mechanical. Mm-hmm. I think I pulled my groin a tad. That's why I look like I've been horseback riding the way I'm walking down the street because of that bull. But anyway, it has been a whirlwind. I went to sneak a peek last night, saw a concert at the Coca-Cola stage. This has been nonstop. And Stampede, I mean, we haven't even officially started yet.
Haven't even quite started yet, but it is going to get underway in just about 15 minutes. So just to situate everyone where we are, we're below the Calgary Tower. Yep. We're expecting about 300,000 live spectators to take in this parade. Over 120 entries this year, making it the biggest Stampede has ever put together. This 114th iteration, and it's getting started very soon. You can see all the people lined up along the route. I was out there very early this morning. Some early birds before 5 o'clock. They found their favorite spot, and they do it every year.
Oh, Blake, I mean, I went out for dinner last night and I couldn't believe the chairs were already out. People were camping out. I love how serious you guys take this parade.
It's a big deal, and it's a big deal for our Leslie Horton, who is along the route this morning. Les, you've been chatting with some of the folks who were out bright and early, getting ready for the 2026 Calgary Stampede. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you both, Carolyn. We're so happy to have you here. Was that Yahoo? I think it was Yahoo. And that's what happens, Carolyn, at the Calgary Stampede, is everybody you walk past has a Yahoo for you. We're down on the street, just below our broadcast center, having some visits with some of the folks here. We spent the morning in the pre-parade area, in the staging area, and caught up with some of the folks there as they were getting ready to hop on their floats. The marching bands were unbelievable. Literally 60 school buses came in to drop off dozens of marching bands, and they were all getting ready and tuning up. Ran into some of the float participants as well. The bell ringing at the stock market at 7:30 was phenomenal. That was so much fun. And now I am going to be on the sidelines for you two up at our broadcast center, talking to some of the folks that are ready to watch the Stampede Parade.
Love it, love it. And Les, you got to speak to our parade marshals a little earlier, right?
Yep. Yes, so Mikael Kingsbury. So do you recognize this motion? Yes, he's the mogul skier. And then Courtney Sarault. She's the speed skater, the short track speed skater. That's the one where they bash elbows with each other and go across the line. I got to catch up with them as they are ready for the Calgary Stampede Parade. They're going to be riding horses. This is both of them their second time on a horse. The first time was yesterday, but they're super game and super excited about this experience. We've all been looking forward to meeting our parade marshals for today, and so we've got them here backstage in the pre-production area before they get super busy with their duties. Mikael Kingsbury and Courtney Sarault, our Olympians. Thank you for being here, you guys. How is it for you to come down here, be in the parade, see the mayhem that's already starting?
Oh my gosh, it's really early in the morning right now, and it's so much stimulation already. Everyone's like up and going, and the energy's there, and we love to see it. I feel like it's going to make us more alive and make us kind of get into it a little bit faster. So yeah, we're just really excited.
You're talking about being overstimulated, yet being in the Olympics and under that kind of pressure is not overstimulating, but all the people in Cowboy hats have overstimulated. Mikael Kingsbury, welcome to Calgary, welcome to the Calgary Stampede. You are a Canadian hero, you're a Canadian sweetheart. We all know who you are, we all love who you are, we followed your career. What's it like to change gears and get in a horse, maybe?
It's amazing. I mean, I love to learn new things, and it's actually, yesterday was my second time on the horse.
Yeah.
Last time I was 8 years old, so a couple of years after, it's nice to jump on one again, and obviously we're going to be an hour and a half on a horse during the parade, so we're just super excited. It's fun to see the energy. We were driving downtown. There's already people sitting down on the chair, so I'm just excited to see what the Stampede is all about.
I think you're going to be okay because you do a little training with those quads.
Yeah.
So I think you should be, and you as well. You do a little training with those quads, but are you a horse gal?
I am now.
As of today.
As of yesterday.
Yesterday, so a long history of being on the horse.
A horse girl history.
Tell me what it means, how it's different to go from the competing and the years and years of the focus to doing something like this and spreading your Olympic charm and being an inspiration by showing up here to the Calgary Parade. How's that aspect for you?
Thank you. I think it's just different. Like when we do our sport, it's something that we've been training in and disciplined, and we have like a lot of expectations for ourselves. And as athletes, we come here and we have those expectations to put on a good performance. Like that's what it feels like. I want to make sure that like we do it perfectly and we do it the right way, so that everyone else can enjoy and see that.
Yes.
It's not as much pressure, that's for sure, but it's like just a fun experience when we want to do it right.
No one expects perfection from someone who's had their second day on a horse. Being today, Courtney, same with you, Mikael. Compare the training to the performance in the Olympics to performing in front of these crowds.
They're both super exciting. Obviously, like she says, like in our own sport, we're in full control. We've done that sport since we're kids. As of this, it's a new experience. There's a little bit of butterflies because obviously we want to do it properly, and it's just exciting. But we care. We want to do it properly and do it well. As much as when we compete at the Olympics, we want to do it properly and win a medal for the country. So
and you've done that a few times.
She's done that too.
You've done that a few times. Okay, so in tribute to you, we'll do one of these, and in tribute to you.
Skate.
Nailed it.
So, second day on skates, just like you, our Olympic athletes that are here being our parade marshals for the Calgary Stampede.
Hey Les, I think you impressed them with your mogul skiing and your speed skating there.
Very impressive.
Well, Mikael said, hey, let's go hit the Black Diamond sometime. And I'm like, double black? Okay, fine. Super fun to meet up with our Olympians and to see their enthusiasm for the Calgary Stampede. And every person that I've talked to this morning that is not from here has said, we can't believe how the city embraces this event, the Stampede and the Stampede Parade. Couple of Calgary's finest. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. Good to see you. They're all super excited to be here, super embracing of the city, just as much as we have embraced everybody else. So I can see, guys, the parade lining up down there, so it's got to be just about go time for you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Les. We'll be checking in throughout the course of the parade as, yes, the countdown is on.
I hear Team Canada on line one for Leslie. They're looking for another coach for moguls.
Oh, coach for moguls.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we know just the person. Okay, another person who we chatted with before the start of the parade this morning, Andrew Fung, local celebrity. He is huge here in Calgary, born and raised here. Has been on Kim's Convenience. He's very, very popular, and he was named the celebrity judge for this year's parade. He's been tasked with reviewing, judging the many floats, the marching bands, everything that's going to be coming through downtown Calgary. I had a chance to chat with him a little bit earlier about what he's looking for this morning. All right, Andrew, this year's celebrity judge. First of all, what does it mean for you to be back here as a Calgarian to take in the Stampede like this?
There's no bigger honor than your home city's claim to fame, the Stampede inviting you home to be a part of it. I remember when I emceed the Stampede for 4 years in 2012, I always said it was the biggest honor to do it. This is somehow even bigger, and so it's a joy to come back and to be a part of this.
As a big celebrity, you go all over the country, all over the world. When you think about the Calgary Stampede and kind of what makes it unique and special, what comes to mind?
I always say, like, for me, it's the theme and it's the camaraderie and it's the community spirit of it all, because like the parade is a really good example of like the community spirit, because the parade exists because local members of the community wanted to show themselves off 120 years ago, and it continues. And I am getting the most lovely DMs, and it's like the Vietnamese Women's Association, the Filipinos Women's Association, they want in on the parade now, because to them that is peak being Canadian. And so my grandfather was so proud to be an immigrant to this country, a Canadian, and so for him the parade was the embodiment of that we're showing off the things we love about this city and this country.
Well said. And you've got a job to do this morning as celebrity judge. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for vibes. I want to look, if I see your float, I want to feel something. Is there a theme? Is there a story to it? What do I feel? Are there matching outfits? Are there sequins? I love nostalgia. If you give me a Heidi and Howdy from the Olympics, I might be swayed right away. If you're a community theme, I want to know about your community, your association, the people. That's all. I just want to feel something, right?
There's going to be no shortage of vibes this morning, I think. Andrew, thanks so much and enjoy the parade.
Thank you so much for having me, Calgary.
I love it. I love that Andrew was saying he wants to feel something. We were feeling something earlier because we went to Stampede Park and tried some of the new foods and the new rides. We were feeling things, Blake.
That'll make you feel something for sure. Here we got some of Calgary's finest going along the route, making sure everyone is out of the way, clearing the way for the parade, which is getting started in just a couple minutes. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade after this.
You're watching the Calgary Stampede Parade, a Global News special broadcast brought to you by House of Cars.
Good morning and welcome back to our special broadcast of the 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade. I'm Blake with Carolyn, and we are just about to get started here. We can hear the commotion down along the route right under the Calgary Tower. Carolyn, this parade is about to get underway.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is my first parade, and it's so many people's first time parade. People come from far and wide to be here. We hear about it, and we come running, and I am so excited to be here.
And here is the banner leading the way. We've got the GMC pace car that's just going to sort of set the tone, as you can imagine, set the pace for this parade. It is a 5-kilometer long route through downtown Calgary. Takes about 2 hours to complete, so pace is very important. And just as we get started here, want to remind you what you can expect. 35 floats, 9 world-class marching bands, about 700 horses will be making their way through downtown Calgary this morning. And as you see there, right on the sign, Carolyn, Stampede starts now.
Oh my gosh, so amazing. All right, so here we go. It is underway. 40 years as a Calgary Stampede partner, and GMC Canada is marking this milestone in style.
Yeah, leading today's parade, the chairman's vehicle, Sierra 2500 AT4 with that chuck wagon tarp on the back. Oh, take a look at that. A new Hummer EV. That looks like the SUT, the sport utility truck. GMC, a big sponsor of Calgary Stampede. Obviously, GMC Stadium is the big grandstand where the rodeo takes place. Carolyn, I imagine you're going to be spending some time there over the next couple days, taking in the rodeo, taking in the chuck wagon races, the relay races. That's where it all happens.
I am so excited to take in the rodeo for the first time. As you said earlier, this is my first rodeo. So I am super pumped. As you can see, GMC brand ambassadors walking alongside each truck with their GMC flags, and everyone decked out in full Western spirit.
Absolutely. All right. 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade underway, and the pace car is followed up by Suncor, 4th year as presenting sponsor of the Stampede Parade. And they've got a great float. It's chock full of iconic Calgary landmarks, celebrating our city's identity and the community that makes it so special. So the Calgary Tower there, which we are parked right below for the Stampede. You can see the Saddle Dome there. We're not going to have the Saddle Dome here in Calgary for too much longer as we're building a new arena, but with over 60 years in Calgary, Suncor is proud to call the city home and continue to invest in its future.
Super neat to see the Calgary Tower under the Calgary Tower.
Right? Pretty great. And there's so many volunteers with Suncor, the second part of their float as well, the big Suncor Towers in downtown Calgary, and lots of volunteers getting the crowd hyped up. Again, Carolyn, we're expecting over 300,000 live spectators along the route.
Okay, I know who that is. I have been waiting to see this feller for a long time. That is Harry the Horse.
Harry the Horse, official mascot of the Calgary Stampede. And you want to talk about hyping up the crowd, this is Harry's job, and he does it well.
Oh gosh, does he ever? Oh my goodness, I've been dying to meet Harry. He has been opening the parade since 1985. The country knows Harry the Horse. For 41 years, he has performed for approximately, listen, his stats are amazing. 40 million people he has performed for. He's made 5,000 appearances and met 5 Canadian prime ministers.
That's incredible. 7 Alberta premiers as well, 6 Calgary mayors. He met Muhammad Ali.
Unbelievable.
This guy's a celebrity. And Harry the Horse, as always, followed up by the Calgary Stampede Show Band. Many people, Carolyn, come to the Calgary Parade, or the Calgary Stampede Parade, for the bands. And this is the one that you want to see.
Oh my
The
God.
musical ambassadors of Calgary Stampede. They actually just made history returning this year from the Drum Corps International Championships as international champions. They were created back in 1971. They've got over 160 performers aged 16 to 22, and they make nearly 200 appearances annually. About half of them are during the 10 days of Stampede. So these folks know what they're doing. We're going to listen in to the Calgary Stampede Show Band. Stampede Show Band. Carolyn, when you head back down to the grounds, you are going to see these impressive musicians because they perform from morning to night every day during Stampede. Just so impressive, so much talent.
Well, and I just also love seeing their iconic red boots, black and red dress jackets, the white cowboy hats. They are known for their music, but also for their attire.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely a symbol of Stampede. I was chatting with some folks along the parade route this morning who were saying, I'm here to see the show band. Some folks, it's a tradition. It's kind of like a rite of passage. They grow up watching the parade, they see the show band, they get interested, they join the band, are part of that, and then just stay involved for years and years to come. So, such an iconic part of the parade. And continuing to play some music for the crowd early on along the route here. Let's listen into the show band again. That is what hundreds of people parked underneath the Calgary Tower were waiting to see. The Calgary Stampede Show Band kicking off this parade right. Just want to mention 7 World Championships of Marching Show Bands, 4 appearances at the Tournament of Roses Parade. They got the prestigious Sutler Shield from the John Philip Sousa Foundation. They've had multiple World Music Contest appearances in Holland. So truly international reputation these young musicians have. And their Stampede's just getting started.
So impressive to be so close to them. It is just, they are booming and just sounds so great.
All right, the Stampede Show Band followed up by the Calgary Stampede Show Riders, the equestrian heart of the Stampede family, here for their 41st year.
Created in 1985 to accompany the Calgary Stampede Show Band, this dynamic team of 14 to 15 Stampede Show Band team of 14 to 15 riders aged 14 to 21 has grown into a celebrated equestrian group in their own right. In 2025, they completed a once-in-a-lifetime riding tour in Portugal, training on world-class Lusitano stallions.
Very cool. Yes, that's such skilled riders. Obviously, horses, the equestrian sort of world, a huge part of Calgary Stampede. So you're going to see them down on the grounds as well. And this is very exciting. Carolyn, we have the parade marshals.
Here they are. Oh my goodness. We are so thrilled to announce Team Canada Olympians Courtney Sarault and Mikael Kingsbury as the 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade Marshals.
So Courtney Sarault, a short track speed skater from Moncton, New Brunswick. She made history at the Milano Cortina Games earlier this year as the first Canadian short track speed skater to win 4 medals at a single Olympics. There she is on the left there. Ahead of her, Mikael Kingsbury, widely regarded as the greatest mogul skier of all time. The Quebec-born athlete holds more World Cup victories than any mogul skier in history, Carolyn.
At the 2026 Milano Cortina Olympic Winter Games, he served as Canada's opening ceremony's flag bearer. He captured, of course, both gold and silver to become the most decorated male freestyle skier in Olympic history.
Okay, here we have the Stampede Princesses. There's Sarah O'Brien alongside
Reagan, first rider, is a 20-year-old jingle dress dancer from Akaina First Nation, whose Blackfoot name means stands tall. And Reagan loves working with young children, has hopes of becoming an elementary teacher. Reagan will proudly represent the Stampede and her Kaina community while empowering youth, sharing her culture through dance, and serving as a dedicated ambassador and role model.
Fantastic stuff. Okay, here we have a lot of the people that make the Calgary Stampede happen. This is the board of directors. We've got the executive group, including Calgary Stampede President Stuart O'Connor. Many of them on horseback there. Oh, check out that ride. Very nice. Oh, here we have the immediate past president, Will Osler. And obviously, it's just such a huge undertaking to make Stampede happen, to grow Stampede the way that it has in the last few years. So a fantastic job. And here, Carolyn, we see the Calgary Stampede poster on that chuck wagon. So the youth poster competition is for artists age 15 to 24. This year's winner, who created that poster, is Dana Lepp. Her poster is called When the Grass Dances, which captures champion junior men's grass dancer Tyrone Sitting Eagle. It passed by pretty quickly there, but I urge you to check out the poster. Just an incredible work of art, and that's something that Stampede's been doing for the last few years, since 2018, is getting young artists from across the country to participate in this and create what are these lasting iconic images for Calgary Stampede.
And that painting, Blake, honors both the vibrancy of powwow traditions and the intergenerational connections that continue to connect families and communities to the Stampede.
All right, well, I can hear in the distance coming down the parade route the Calgary Police Service Mounted Patrol team and their pipes and drum band. Looks like there's a bit of a gap between the last group and the big CPS contingent, but here they come. The Calgary Police Service Pipe Band, 62nd year at the Stampede Parade. They made their first public performance right here, leading the 1975 Stampede Parade. 40 musicians in full Highland dress, and they do an incredible job. They've done this all over the world for 62 years and still going strong.
Look at that. Take this in. As you said, Blake, 40 musicians in full Highland dress performing with the strength, pride, and musical excellence that has taken them to international stages right around the world. By Sergeant Bill Crabb and modeled after the Edinburgh Police Pipe Band, the CPS Pipe Band made its first public performance right here, leading the 1975 Stampede Parade.
Here we have the Calgary Police Cadet Corps following up the pipe band. There we go, Calgary Police Service making their way downtown. How's that for a retro ride? Love that. All right, here's the parade committee. Obviously, a lot of work goes into putting this event together. This wagon here honoring the volunteers of the parade committee, spotlighting longtime parade committee member and past parade committee chair Blair Barkley.
He is riding in a historic 1927 Chevrolet Capital One truck, although that
doesn't look like it's got an engine.
That does not look like it has a. That's looking like, if I don't know, I'm thinking like an oak wagon.
I know they Stampede has this beautifully restored 1927 Chevy truck. Maybe some mechanical issues. I'm not seeing it on the route right now, but still a great opportunity to pay tribute to all the volunteers that make this parade happen every year. There's 200 volunteers, Carolyn, with the parade committee. That's just a small fraction of the more than 3,000 volunteers that make Stampede happen every year. So big round of applause for all of the volunteers who put in so much time and effort to make this happen. All right, check out this. This is from Calgary Exhibition and Stampede Limited. We've got this beautiful float with some live music. They made their debut last year, but sharing this stunning entry with an even bigger audience this go around. Calgary Stampede has been part of Calgary's identity from the very beginning. So great to see, Stampede itself be celebrated and all the people that are part of the organization.
And you talked about the volunteers walking alongside the float. 22 proud Stampede volunteers in red roper shirts, white cowboy hats, black jeans, and boots.
Yeah, and speaking of committees, this is the Rodeo Committee. Obviously, rodeo a huge part of the 10 days of Stampede. They've been with the parade since day one, and they are not slowing down. This is really a world-class rodeo. It brings in the best rodeo competitors from around the world, brings in the best animals as well. So good to see the Calgary Stampede Rodeo Committee saying hello to the thousands that are lining the parade route this morning.
Oh, all right. Now, Heritage Park, bringing Calgary's history to life. Is Heritage Park Historical Village Canada's largest living history museum?
Absolutely love Heritage Park. If you have family visiting Calgary, it is a must-see. There's interactive storytelling there, living history demonstrations, all these immersive experiences. You can see the folks who work at Heritage Park are dressed up in period-accurate clothing.
This year's
lots of great machines as well at Heritage Park.
Now, this year's parade entry features a custom-built float, costume interpreters, crowd favorite, oversized wearables, and 2 authentic vehicles from the early 1900s.
Yeah, that's that Waltham bus and the Depot Hack, which I understand was a very old vehicle to get people to and from train stations. So there's so much to see at Heritage Park, and they always have a great entry in the parade.
We were talking about the visitors to Stampede each and every year. Well, Heritage Park welcomes more than 650,000 guests each and every year.
It is a hot spot for sure. Here's a look at some of the hundreds of people along the route in downtown Calgary. Carolyn, we got a beautiful day for a Stampede parade.
Gosh, I know you guys have been getting so much rain leading up to this, but my goodness, we got a great day today.
We absolutely do. Hey, this is new for this year's Stampede. Making their debut, these are the North Star Drill Team, formed last year. This group of passionate cowgirls, I'm sure they're compassionate too, and their athletic, flashy horses have already logged over 100 combined practice hours preparing for this parade.
This team Okay, and now we're looking at the Soul of Mexico, and they have just won the best overall award.
Hey, congratulations, Soul of Mexico. At the start of the show, we talked to Andrew Fung, the celebrity judge. He said he was looking for a story or authenticity. He was looking for vibes. And Soul of Mexico certainly delivering in this first cultural float of the Calgary Stampede Parade.
Proudly representing Calgary's Mexican community, and you can see this vibrant contingent celebrates the talent, creativity, and cultural pride of Mexican Canadians through folkloric dancers, musicians, artists, and a stunning float handcrafted by local Mexican residents.
Yeah, you can see the symbolism there. They're wearing the monarch butterfly wings, which reflects the experiences of many immigrants who have built new lives while keeping their cultural roots alive. From Mexico all the way to Canada, there's those beautiful monarch butterflies on this gorgeous float.
I love it. Soul of Mexico celebrates the strength, diversity, and spirit that enrich both Mexico and Canada.
Well deserving of best overall parade float, I'd say.
Oh, for sure. Good job, Andrew. Good selection.
Oh, and check that out. Wow.
Beautiful.
What a stunning visual. Yes, lots to this Soul of Mexico entry. And you can see the crowd very into it as well. I bet, Carolyn, there's a lot of... Oh, hey, check this out. We've got Alberta Premier Danielle Smith.
The government of Alberta, through the Alberta Lottery Fund, supports several Stampede programs and facilities.
Absolutely. Government of Alberta, a big partner with Stampede for all the work that's been happening down on Stampede grounds in recent years, expanding. Premier Smith coming off a big announcement yesterday with the Prime Minister. Here we have the Honorable Rick McIver, longtime politician here in Alberta. I wonder how he got he drew the straw that allows him to ride in the car. That looks like a pretty comfortable ride. Some more Alberta politicians, MLAs, making their way down the parade route. Calgary Stampede, it's an opportunity for politicians to, there's so many pancake breakfasts that happened all throughout the 10 days of Stampede. So a good opportunity to get some face time with constituents and get some pancakes while they're at it.
For sure. And from agriculture to tourism to park development, including matching the Government of Canada's contribution for the Nutrien Western Event Centre, the collaboration continues to provide long-term benefit to the community.
Absolutely. Okay, here's the Shelley v. Percheron heavy horse hitch entry. That is a beautiful replica of an 1870 Concord stagecoach. Very, very cool, and it's being pulled by the stunning Shelley v. Percherons, sponsored by Century Downs Racetrack and Casino.
Now, this family-run operation has been breeding and training Percheron horses for over 50 years, with father and son driving side by side, keeping the tradition of these powerful, elegant draft horses alive for another generation.
And this is always a crowd favorite. We've got WestJet back at the Calgary Stampede Parade, and they've brought the plane. For the second year running, Calgary's hometown airline rolling through the streets with their airplane float, fresh off winning Best Overall Parade Award last year.
Okay, so these are the reigning champs. And you can see why it's a fan favorite. WestJet, of course, has been a proud Calgary Stampede sponsor since 2003, and their theme this year says it all: where your story takes off.
Fantastic stuff. Okay, this is a great one we've got here. The Tsuut'ina Elbow River Camp entry, dressed in traditional regalia. We've got members of Tsuut'ina Nation from the Elbow River Camp. That is something, if you are new to Calgary Stampede, you have to check out. The Elbow River Camp is just an incredible display of cultural experiences, traditional dancing, indigenous art. It's where you can immerse yourself in the rich cultures of the Kainai, Piikani, Siksika, Tsuut'ina, and Stoney Nakoda First Nations of Treaty 7. And this is something, Carolyn, when we talk about tradition at the Calgary Stampede, I mean, the Elbow River Camp, the Treaty 7 First Nations have been a part of the Calgary Stampede from the very, very beginning. That was one of the reasons why the Stampede came together, was to showcase the local Indigenous heritage and protect it and preserve it. So down at the Elbow River Camp, there's so many things to do. As I said, there's the traditional dancing and the different cultural experiences, as well as 26 TVs. Very, very profound stuff.
All right, we have Get Moving Calgary. Run Calgary is bringing the energy and a giant disco running shoe to the Stampede Parade today. Since 2011, the race has started and finished on Stampede grounds, and today, Run Calgary raises over $1 million every year for local charities through the Calgary Marathon Charity Challenge.
They've got a disco shoe. That's
Why
pretty
not?
cool. All right, coming up next, we've got another band. This is the Calgary Roundup Band, one of Canada's premier youth performing arts programs. It was founded back in 1956 and has since grown into a nationally celebrated ensemble, delivering unforgettable performance experiences for young musicians through concert band, through marching, winter guard, and field show competitions.
Today, approximately 160 performers in blue and white fill the parade route with music that has echoed across Europe, Australia, and North America. This is Calgary Youth Excellence right here, right now.
It sure is. Let's listen in to the Calgary Roundup Band. That is getting the crowd going. Calgary Roundup Band.
All right, now we are looking at possibly a chuck wagon in the future, Blake.
Oh, okay.
Telus Spark Science Center has been asking that exact question, and their answer is spectacular.
This year's float brings a futuristic space cowboy chuck wagon to life alongside a nod to their blockbuster summer dinosaur exhibit. Gotta love those inflatable dinosaur costumes. Spacesuits and cowboys' hats, teal Spark t-shirts and dinosaur costumes, because at Spark, science and fun are always better together.
All right, Cowley's Rafter 6 Ranch celebrating half a century of sharing the cowboy way.
Absolutely, and you can see there riding with Cowley's Rafter 6 Ranch is Pierre Polyev, leader of the official opposition, who grew up in Calgary, so he's no stranger to the Calgary Stampede, always makes an appearance. But Cowley's Rafter 6 Ranch, very, very cool. It's just 45 minutes west of Calgary in the Canadian Rockies. It has welcomed guests from around the world to experience authentic Western hospitality through horses, nature, and the great outdoors since 1976.
And Stan Cowley has participated in 83 Calgary Stampede parades over his lifetime.
All right, the Calgary Korean Women's Association. Discipline, respect, and the positive values of martial arts, that is the spirit of the Calgary Korean Women's Association and what they're bringing to the parade today. We're seeing here a showcase of a professional, family-friendly martial arts experience that blends competition, cultural pride, and community connection.
30.
All right, so as we watch the Calgary Korean Women's Association entry, we are going to take a short break. We're back with the 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade after this.
You're watching the Calgary Stampede Parade, a global news special broadcast brought to you by House of Cars.
Welcome back to our special broadcast of the 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade that is underway on a beautiful sunny day in downtown Calgary right now.
This is so exciting. I'm so happy to be joining you, doing this, co-hosting the parade, my first Stampede Parade. So it's just amazing.
It started off on a really incredible note. We're going to get you back down to the parade route right now. We had just seen the Alberta Motor Association pull by, so now we've got the Calgary Stampede Queens alumni. We've got the royalty spanning 8 decades, Carolyn.
That is right. Carrying 80 years of Western fashion community service and the Stampede pride right down the parade routes.
Since 1979, the Queen's alumni have been hosting giddy-up events for children with disabilities, providing unique, accessible Stampede experiences that have brought joy to thousands of family. It really is, once you're Stampede royalty, you are always Stampede royalty.
And a very special shout out to our 2001 royalty, Allison Collin and Lisa Johnson, who are celebrating their 25th anniversary of their reign.
Some big yahoos from the Queen's alumni. And just so for people who aren't familiar, when you are a Calgary Stampede princess, when you're Stampede royalty, it's a big job. It isn't just for the 10 days of Stampede, which is, granted, very, very busy with hundreds of events that they attend, but they're chosen the year before. So it is an entire year-long job where you're going to different communities, you're participating in other rodeo events across southern Alberta, and really being an ambassador for the Calgary Stampede. So great to see the Queen's alumni spanning 8 decades here today.
All right, let's say hello to the Dino Drifter and the town of Drumheller, the only parade float named by local grade 6 students through a mock referendum. Very good, teacher.
I love that. Okay, we got the Dino Drifter as a result of that referendum. The town of Drumheller, many will know, is home to the world-famous Royal Tyrrell Museum and Canada's Badlands. They're bringing their brilliant dinosaur-themed float to Calgary to celebrate Drumheller's world-renowned prehistoric heritage.
And was first introduced in 2025 by the Mayor and Council. The Dino Drifter is exactly what its name promises. Part adventure, part education, and 100% unforgettable.
All right, we've got more Calgary Stampede employees and volunteers. That is the parade show wagon, an award-winning icon of Western heritage there. It's a replica chuck wagon pulled by a cream-colored draft team and escorted by 4 outriders on matching horses. They've been rolling through communities across the province for over 30 years.
Kind of interesting, the show wagon made history back in 2025 as the first in its 35-plus year history to be led by 2 women.
Great stuff. We got some crowd shots here, the thousands and thousands of people lining the 5-kilometer-long route through downtown Calgary. For many, it's a tradition spanning generations. For others, this is their first time taking it all in.
Yeah, and you know that those who have been coming back year after year with their families, with their kids and their grandkids, there are their favorites, right? They're always waiting to see either a particular float or a particular group just because they have come to love them and look forward to seeing what each year brings.
You're absolutely right. A lot of people going to be happy to see the Calgary Japanese Community Association and their cultural float. During Japan's festive season, communities gather to parade an omikashi, a traditional portable shrine believed to carry revered deities through the town. And today, the Calgary Japanese Community Association brings this beloved tradition to the Stampede Parade.
Oh, look at the dancers and powerful beats of live taiko drumming, recreating the joyful atmosphere of a Japanese summer festival.
There is that omikashi riding atop a pulled cart surrounded by energetic yosakoi dancers and, as you say, the taiko drumming. The CJCA, the Calgary Japanese Community Association, has been serving Calgary since the 60s and hosts a lot of events, but a big highlight is going to be this year, the second International Yosakoi Dance Festival in North America.
You can hear our next guest coming along. We are ready to welcome the Glenmore Temple Band of the Salvation Army.
This is a huge year for the Salvation Army Glenmore Temple Band. 110th year, consecutive year. They haven't missed one at the Calgary Stampede Parade. They are the longest participating band in parade history. It was founded all the way back in 1892. Let's take a listen to the Glenmore Temple Band of the Salvation Army.
Unmistakable sound of the CP train coming through. Volunteers are at the heart of the mini train program and donate hundreds of hours to prep, maintain, and attend events across the CPKC network.
And that is the Little General, definitely a fan favorite along the parade route. You've got the locomotive, you got the passenger dome car, and of course the caboose with the boots. Carolyn.
Love it.
It's a quarter scale model of a GE AC 4400 locomotive. It does have a real working train horn, and I don't know if I'm sure our mics picked it up. You could hear the Little General from a ways away.
Oh, you sure could. The Little General dons a hat, belt, and boots in honor of the Calgary Stampede and the company's western roots.
And new this year, CPKC also including its police service, which protects railway infrastructure, equipment, and railroaders across the entire country. So CPKC Police proud to march once again in Calgary, supporting all railroaders. There's also the CPKC Police Service Honor Guard with them as well.
We also have the Western Agriculture Heritage Committee. Their entry is an amalgamation of a few different Western event groups, including blacksmiths, draft horse town, wheelwrights, and the favorite antique tractors.
Oh, gotta love an antique tractor to kick off the Calgary Stampede. The float this year demonstrating the history of farming. We've got a barn there as well as a grain elevator. So very cool to see. And here, Carolyn, we've got the street sweepers, Outlaw, Daisy, Barlow, Chestnut. They're going along the route to clean things up, because with 700 horses in a parade, you're going to have a bit of a mess.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back from the Calgary Stampede Parade.
You're watching the Calgary Stampede Parade, a global news special broadcast brought to you by House of Cars.
All right, welcome back to our coverage of the 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade. Blake Law, Carolyn McKenzie with you. Let's take you right back down to the action, Carolyn, because we've got a beautiful cultural float passing us right now.
We sure do. Vietnamese essence, a cultural symphony passing on by. The Calgary Vietnamese Women's Association brings a 100% volunteer-run showcase of traditional Vietnamese music, dance, and cultural artistry to the Stampede Parade.
Absolutely beautiful. We've got those traditional bamboo instruments, followed by the traditional bagpipes of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in the red serge. Iconic. The RCMP have been with the Calgary Stampede and part of the Stampede since the very beginning. We've got the pipes, we've got the pipes and drum band. They're going to be followed up by some VIPs in a carriage. We've got ceremonial uniformed members behind them, civilian troops, and on it goes. RCMP, just what a symbol of Canada, and at this point, a symbol of the Calgary Stampede.
And we also have, in their 52nd year at the Calgary Stampede Parade, the RCMP Veterans Association Calgary Division.
There they are, the Veterans Association pulling up in the Brewster Transportation open air tour bus from Banff, representing a century of service to Alberta. We've got 20 veterans of the RCMP in their red Western shirts and white Stetsons on that bus. Great way to honor their service. As you see on the side there, 150 years.
Originally established in 1886 as advocates for Northwest Mounted Police veterans, this association has been serving veterans, families, and the community for well over a century.
All right, following that up, we've got the Chilean Canadian Community Association of Calgary, a non-profit organization dedicated to preserving and celebrating the Chilean culture. And those are some pretty spectacular outfits. All right, the Chilean Community Association making their way down the parade route underneath the Calgary Tower. Just phenomenal traditional outfits and garb. And this is what so many people come to see. Andrew Fung, the celebrity judge who we were speaking with earlier, was talking about like all these different communities, cultural groups that found a home in Calgary, you know, giving back to this city, being proud of being from this city, but also holding on to their cultural roots and being very proud to showcase that at an event like this with hundreds of thousands of people in person and many, many more watching from afar.
That's what is so impressive about this parade is just is the diversity, Blake. I'm just blown away by the participants. And speaking of, this is JKL Trail Rides, bringing the magic. 12 horses fitted with magnificent giant wings transform the parade route into something out of a dream. Powerful Pegasus creatures moving with strength and grace.
I love that. What an image that is. These strong horses with those massive wings. JKL Trail Rides was founded in 2004. They offer guided trail rides, overnight trips, rafting, kids camps, all the fun stuff in the province. There's 3 locations, including Diamond J, just 1 hour west of Sundre on the edge of Banff National Park. Really embracing the landscape of Alberta and those Western traditions and heritage.
And the riders in long, flowing, colorful dresses and traditional Polish attire. This entry, Blake, proudly supports MDI, a non-profit advancing men's mental health.
All right, pulling up now, the Stoney Nakoda Nation, made up of Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Wesley First Nations. They've been an integral part of the Calgary Stampede since the very, very beginning, back in 1912. And another, part of the Elbow River Camp we were talking about earlier with Tsuut'ina Nation. So anybody who is down at the grounds can learn more about Stoney Nakoda Nation. You know, the traditions and everything that makes the Stoney Nakoda Nation great. Great to have them back in the parade.
Shout out to Alberta Correctional Services, representing the dedicated professionals who keep Alberta's communities safe every day.
Yep, 22 participants, marching in navy blue uniforms with blue striped pants, each wearing a modified cowboy hat featuring the Corrections crest in true Stampede spirit.
And I think in the distance we can hear one of the largest Chinese marching bands in Canada.
I think you're right, Carolyn. The Tianghua Marching Band is here with 90 members and branches in Calgary, Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, New York, and San Francisco. Tianghua, meaning celestial, has performed across cities throughout North America, bringing music, culture, and their signature visual precision to every performance.
Now, their members practice Falun Dafa, a self-cultivation discipline based on universal principles, and today they march with the same dedication and discipline that defines everything they do.
Well, you can certainly see that right now. Let's take a listen to the Tianghua Marching Band. So following up, the marching band is for the 20th consecutive year, the Falun Dafa Association of Calgary, with their newly designed float, drawing inspiration from historic Chinese ship architecture and carrying practitioners demonstrating the 5 meditative exercises of Falun Dafa and the beautiful fairies in flowing traditional attire.
And their message is timeless. The values of truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance can really make us all better versions of ourselves. And behind them, a team of golden uniformed waist drummers as well, performing energetic pieces while moving to the music.
All right, another phenomenal entry from Falun Dafa, and they are followed up by what is always a very highly anticipated section of the Calgary Stampede Parade, and that is the military section. So we're getting started with the National Band of the Naval Reserve. The band composed of musicians from 6 different Naval Reserve divisions across Canada, including in Calgary. So we'll take a listen to them as we get the military groups passing by underneath the Calgary Tower. All right, while they're taking a break, we want to tell you just a little more about the Canadian Armed Forces, combining contingents of all 3 services, the Royal Canadian Navy, the Canadian Army, and the Royal Canadian Air Force. This entry this year is just a small representation of the over 90,000 regular and reserve force members protecting Canada and contributing to international peace and security.
As you mentioned, Blake, we have a number of entries from the Canadian Armed Forces, so many contingents represented from the Royal Canadian Navy, the Canadian Army, and the Royal Canadian Air Force.
Yeah, I think we just saw the tail end of the RIB, the Rigid Hull Inflatable boat. There it is, from the Royal Canadian Navy. This one in particular belongs to the Naval Reserve Division in Calgary here, serves as a critical training platform for sailors navigating the waters in and around southern Alberta. And who does it better than sonar, the beloved and official mascot of the Royal Canadian Navy? All right, much more from the Canadian military, including the combined bands of the Royal Canadian Artillery and Canadian Forces Base Cold Lake.
Are traced primarily from the RCA band formed in Montreal in 1968.
And Carolyn, I just want to draw attention to the Lord Strathcona's horse. Very, very cool. You can see that the traditional uniforms that they're wearing, very proud of their strong ties to Western Canada as they preserve and perpetuate the regiment's traditions and history. Maintaining a link to a period when it was first raised by Lord Strathcona as a regiment of cavalry in 1900. So we've got the mounted troop here, 12 soldiers in period uniforms. They're mounted on horseback with an additional 12 soldiers as spare riders and a ground crew. They volunteer for a minimum of 1 show a season. And the duties that come with being a member of the troop are in addition to their normal responsibilities as soldiers of the Canadian Armed Forces.
All night. Now we're going to see some of the military vehicles that help make up our Canadian Armed Forces.
The heavy machinery. Yeah, we've got a UTV, a utility terrain vehicle used for light reconnaissance and transporting equipment and weapons, ammunition, water, things to sustain soldiers for up to 72 hours. We've got a LAV-6, that's the light armored vehicle you see there. That's really the backbone of the Canadian Army's vehicle fleet since entering the service in 1999. The LAV-6 started serving in 2014. And the one we see here, boy, what a machine. It comes to us from the 1st Battalion, Princess Patricia's Light Infantry based up in Edmonton.
Well, the LAV-6 wheeled combat vehicle weighs more than, listen to this, 30 tons. can carry an infantry section through rugged terrain and is fitted with a 25mm cannon. And help me out with this one, Blake, but 7.62mm
Coaxial.
There we go. Machine gun.
Coaxial? I may have got that wrong too. But yes, some of the very important pieces of equipment utilized by the Canadian Armed Forces. We've got the wheeled light utility vehicle, the Love W, an all-terrain vehicle designed for military use. We've got behind that armored combat support vehicle. It's a domestic and heavily protected vehicle fleet for the Canadian Army.
And you can actually check out all of these vehicles over on Stampede's ground at Stampede Park. My family and I were doing just that the other day. So as soon as they're done the parade, they go back to Stampede Park, park themselves, and the public can go in and take a look.
Absolutely, and it's such a good opportunity for anyone who's interested in learning more about the Canadian Armed Forces. There's a recruiting center and recruiters who are there to just share information for anyone who's interested. This another big part of our city, the military museums. It's one of Alberta's most powerful places of remembrance and discovery. Really, the largest tri-service museum in Western Canada, honoring members of the Canadian Armed Forces, past and present.
All right, hold on to your hats. This entry does not simply walk the parade route, it performs it. All 90 members of this powerhouse troop entertain nonstop for the full 5 kilometers with thundering Doltasha drums and the rhythmic jingle of Lazim cymbals, backed by months of 3-day-a-week stamina training.
Hey, these guys, Barut has it right, because this is no small feat to complete this 5-kilometer route. It's over 6,000 steps for anyone who's walking the route start to finish. So you do need a bit of stamina training while also performing.
Now, these guys were winners of the 2024 Fan Favorite Award and the 2025 Best Wagon Award.
I love that flow. And look who we have here. From the Himalayas to the Rockies. We got a tiger and I believe a beaver playing some pickup hockey. Very appropriate.
Here we have the Southern Alberta Pioneers and their descendants. The oldest roots of Southern Alberta ride by today in the Southern Alberta Pioneers and their descendants, an organization whose members are direct descendants of the very first settlers who homesteaded these lands before 1890.
Incredible. Our pioneer lady is Lynn Marquis. She's a descendant of Samuel William and Helen Maria, who arrived in 1883. So just when you're talking about the Southern Alberta Pioneers, these individuals were among the first 500 people to arrive in Calgary, and an event like Stampede kind of draws attention to that tradition, that Western heritage, the pioneers who arrived in this part of the world and really helped contribute to making it what it is today.
Now, unfortunately, our pioneer gentleman, Alan Linus, recently suffered a health issue and won't be able to ride with us. We are thinking of him, and he is a descendant of Colonel James Walker and Effie Davidson, who arrived back in 1881.
So much history. All right, another cultural float following up the Southern Alberta Pioneers and their descendants. We got the winners of the 2024 Best Overall Entry. Rises del Peru is back, and with them they are bringing ancient royalty.
And this year's float honors El Señor de Sipan, a 3rd century Moche civilization ruler whose untouched tomb is considered one of the most significant archaeological finds in the Americas.
Very cool. Gold, Silver, turquoise, and the rich heritage of Peru's coast, Sierra, and jungle regions come to life through 40 performers in custom regional dress, all organized and performed completely free of charge by community volunteers. And it always comes back to that, doesn't it? It's all about the volunteers and these different groups that go out of their way, put so much time and effort into constructing these floats, into putting the costumes and the outfits together to really showcase what their community or what their organization is all about.
And as we talk about celebrating diversity, you know, with World Cup going on right now, and we're seeing all our communities come together, the parade is doing the exact same thing.
It really is. It is. People talk about the World Cup, how it's bringing so many people together in celebration. We get that every year, really, in Calgary. These 10 days. Yes, it's a huge showcase of Western heritage. We've got the rodeo and that cowboy culture, but there's also so many diverse communities in Southern Alberta that are represented here as well. You are watching the 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade broadcast. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with you after this.
You're watching the Calgary Stampede Parade, a global news special broadcast brought to you by House of Cars.
You are watching our special broadcast of the 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade, the official kickoff to 10 days of the greatest outdoor show on earth. I'm Blake Law, Carolyn McKenzie, enjoying your first Stampede in a very long time. Great front row seat in downtown Calgary to this incredible parade.
Let's get right back down to the parade because it is something to take in and we don't want to miss a thing. To quote Aerosmith.
Absolutely. Parks Canada just passed by. So now, I think following up, we've got the Penticton Peach Festival, Carolyn.
We sure do. Penticton Peach Festival float is back to showcase the annual South Okanagan Valley tradition, which began in 1947 to celebrate the peach harvest in Penticton, BC. And hey, after you do check out the Stampede, go check out them August 5th to 9th.
Looks like we've got Miss Penticton up top there, flying the flag of British Columbia, our neighbors to the west. On a hot day like today, a fresh peach would be pretty darn nice.
All right, oh yeah, I hear you. Give me a peach anytime. All right, you're looking at the signature colors of turquoise, white, silver, and black. The Windy Ridge Riders Association brings 36 years of parade tradition to the Calgary Stampede.
Yep, founded in 1988, parading since 1989, Windy Ridge brings together riders from Airdrie, Calgary, and surrounding areas to share a commitment to horsemanship, teamwork, and safety.
We are looking at the winners of the Best Spirit Award, Blake.
There you go, Fiesta Filipino. They are coming through with so much spirit, a burst of color, a burst of rhythm, and much cultural pride to the Calgary Stampede this year. They are celebrating, as you can see on their float, the Festival of Flowers from the northern Philippines. And by the way, Fiesta Filipino here in Calgary is so awesome. So much incredible music and food. And this year's entry celebrates the artistry, heritage, and joyful spirit of the Philippines, and the flower-rich landscapes that inspired this festival's creation.
And surrounding the float, an ensemble of festival dancers and tribal performers representing the northern Philippine provinces.
So earlier in the parade, Soul of Mexico won Best Overall Parade Entry, but you have to recognize spirit. And the Filipino Festival, Fiesta Filipino, has it in spades, Carol.
You are starting to see why they are the winners of the Spirit Award. What a beautiful display. I'm thinking of the kids along the route who are just taking all of this in. So colorful and vibrant.
I love the theme of the flowers. Everything in this entry ties back to that special theme, the famed Festival of Flowers from the northern Philippines. And again, just showcasing these strong cultural ties in what is a very strong and proud community here in Calgary.
Ooh, okay. From the Philippines to Nigeria. This is the Nigerian Canadian Association of Calgary. Unity in diversity, which we've really been talking about throughout this entire parade, Blake. And that is the message the Nigerian Canadian Association of Calgary brings to the parade today. Oh goodness, I want to get moving now. I want to get out of my chair. I want to get moving. This is the energy, and every symbol on their float really does tell that story of unity in diversity.
Yeah, you can see that float right there, that red eagle at the front soaring above two white horses. The red eagle represents Nigeria's resilience. The black shield honors its fertile land. The white horses carry dignity. And the yellow trumpet, Nigeria's national flower, speaks to beauty and endurance. And you can see those massive speakers tied and strapped down to the float. They are blasting some awesome upbeat music, getting the crowd, the thousands of people underneath the Calgary Tower, really into it.
How do you not get moving when you hear those beats? So good.
Now, if you want some pretty incredible costumes, look no further than these guys. Mad Max Ride YYC. It's post-apocalyptic, it's pedal-powered, it's Mad Max Ride YYC, and they are back and wilder than ever.
Founded in 2019 by Calgary bike commuters Solita Work and Dora Novak, this one-of-a-kind celebration of non-motorized transportation brings cyclists, skateboarders, roller skaters, and creative visionaries together under a kind of Mad Max-inspired banner.
Wow, look at that. That massive globe being pulled down the parade route. 2 custom trikes with a pedal-powered music system lead 30 to 50 riders and performers in these elaborate post-apocalyptic costumes made entirely from recycled or repurposed materials.
I think we can bet that Mad Max Ride YYC may be the most unique entry you'll see today. Is there an award for most unique?
A lot of ingenuity, I feel like, has gone into this entry. From the bikes to the costumes, pretty incredible.
All right, saddle up. The Frontier has arrived in their 28th year at the Stampede Parade. The Guns of the Golden West bring Old West theatrics to life with a spectacular 3-part procession.
Yeah, and this is, I love this one. The float that is Old West Saloon. And these guys are just awesome. We've got a canoe as well being pulled on wheels by members through the crowd.
Hold on, is that a half Old West Saloon and half news desk?
Well, I was trying to find the news desk there.
Look, that looks like...
I see the saloon.
That looks like the Global News desk. No, this is where... Back in the day, the news desk was a very small team.
That's right. That's right, exactly. Guns of the Golden West were founded back in 1981. They perform theatrical frontier shows all across Western Canada and as far away as Colorado and Arizona. There you see the canoe being pulled behind. And folks, young and old, really enjoying this kickoff to the Calgary Stampede so far. How could you not love what we're seeing so far?
And in that last float, we had 40 performers taking part. And that looked like a really fun float to be a part of.
Coming up behind is the University of Calgary, their famous Space Rex entry, and a big year for the University of Calgary, celebrating 60 this year. We can see the Space Rex float getting a very special birthday makeover. Rex the Dino celebrating in style, sporting a party hat and flying a refreshed spaceship decked out in 60th anniversary colors.
We were talking about award recipients since its debut in 2023 when Space Rex won Best Creative Innovative Entry. This float has captured the imagination of the parade crowd each and every year.
Love that. All right. If I'm not mistaken, we've got our friends from Red Deer coming down the parade route now. The Red Deer Royals Marching Show Band, Central Alberta's world-class marching band, are in the house, celebrating, Carolyn, 56 years of musical excellence.
The Red Deer Royals bring together approximately 80 musicians and color guard members aged 12 to 21.
I love the Red Deer Royals hats with the maple leaf on there. Let's take a listen to this latest marching show band and enjoy. All right, well done, the Red Deer Royals. Auditioned for excellence and mentored for leadership, every member carries a proud tradition of musicianship, teamwork, and community service. Great to have them visiting from up in Red Deer once again in this 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade.
All right, the Land of Fire has arrived, and it is absolutely spectacular. The Alberta Azerbaijani Association's float is a living tribute to Azerbaijan's rich cultural heritage, anchored by a striking handcrafted traditional carpet and a detailed replica of the ancient Maiden Tower, both built by community volunteers.
That is so cool. The flame-inspired design elements celebrate Azerbaijan's identity as the birthplace of fire worship, finished in the national colors of blue, red, and green. The float also pays tribute to the legendary Karabakh horse, a natural connection to the Calgary Stampede's own love of horsemanship.
We've got 30 performers in total in vibrant traditional attire, marching to share their story, bridging cultures, igniting connection all the way from Baku to Calgary.
Well, I know you had a personal experience with YYC International Airport a couple days ago as you arrived, Carolyn. We've got this new float joining us this morning.
Oh, there's my luggage.
That's where it went. YYC Calgary International Airport has been welcoming the world to Calgary for nearly a century, growing right alongside the Stampede itself. And today, for the first time ever, Calgary Airports joins the parade with their iconic YYC wrapped airside fleet rolling down the route.
And alongside the vehicle, the legendary White Hat volunteers in their iconic red vests and white cowboy hats. And they extend a welcome that is uniquely, unmistakably Calgary. From runway to rodeo, your Stampede story starts at YYC.
We gotta love the volunteers at the airport, really just representing that Western hospitality for everyone that arrives in our city. Here we have the Nanton Booster Club rolling in with small town pride and a whole lot of history. This is their first time in the Calgary Stampede Parade in his beautifully restored 1930s school bus.
Very cool, very cool. Okay, let's go down onto the parade route to catch up with Leslie.
Down here in the ground, I can tell you it is so hot. We're melting. The sun just going to go behind that building as it starts to cool off here a little bit. I wanted to show you this. This actually is my first rodeo, because when you're 3 months old, it is your first rodeo, but he is sleeping soundly, so we're not going to disturb him. We're going to come and talk to these little gals. Whose first parade is it? Yours and yours. Is this your first Calgary Stampede too? Okay, what's your name?
Maggie.
What do you think so far, Maggie?
It's good.
Do you like it? What's your name, honey?
Penelope.
Penelope. What do you think of the parade? I know you've been to Stampede before, but how's the parade?
It's awesome.
It is awesome. What's the favorite part? Horses, the floats, the bands?
Probably the horses.
Yeah. Well, there's maybe 1,000 horses here, so you got lots to see when you're on the ground. Here we go. Children's Cottage going right beside us. Hi, Children's Cottage. Back to you guys up above.
Thank you, Leslie.
Fantastic stuff. I mean, this is a tradition for so many people in this community. So great to see some young fans of the Stampede Parade. Here we have the Children's Cottage Society marking 40 years in Calgary, ensuring that no family in this city faces a crisis alone. This year's parade entry is a Ruby Jubilee celebration, 4 decades of impact, dressed in classic ruby glitter, Western style, and bursting with pride.
Founded in 1986 as a 24-hour crisis nursery, CCS has grown into a multi-location organization that has supported thousands.
Yeah, they do phenomenal work in the community. And here, we've got a taste of Asia. The Honan Shaolin Cultural and Historical Association and Calgary Chinese Chamber of Commerce, 2 not-for-profit organizations dedicated to empowering Alberta's business and cultural communities. And this is just a beautiful entry
The Calgary Chinese Chamber of Commerce, serving as a bridge between Chinese entrepreneurs and the economy, fosters growth, collaboration, and cultural understanding as it stages the Taste of Asia Festival. Another date to circle on your calendar, August 20 to 23rd for the festival.
Well, Calgary's Chinatown, which is just a few blocks away, is historic. It is so vibrant, and Lunar New Year celebrations. There are always these phenomenal dragon dances like we're seeing right there. So great to have them passing through on the parade route once again. Here we have the Blackfoot Confederacy, one of the great nations of the Plains, bringing the color, ceremony, and living culture of the Piikani, Kainai, and Siksika peoples to the Calgary Stampede Parade. And evidence suggests the Blackfoot people have been on this land for over 4,000 years. Their presence here at Stampede dates back to the very first parade in 1912, when the Siksika people were invited by Guy Weedick to set up an Indian village, which has now evolved into the Elbow River Camp.
And that relationship, built on mutual respect and shared celebration, continues today. From the Elbow River Camp, presented by Enbridge, members of the Blackfoot Confederacy ride and walk in traditional regalia, as you can see, dancing, drumming, and singing in honor of who they are and where they come from.
Such a huge part of this local tradition, and here from the very, very beginning. Again, if you get the chance to go down to the Elbow River Camp, highly recommended. It's such a powerful exchange of knowledge, a chance to sort of immerse yourself in Indigenous traditions and culture and learn a lot. They've got the traditional dancing down there at the Elbow River Camp as well, which is just so impressive to see, and it truly is a generational thing. There are families that have been there for 40, 50, 60 plus years.
All right, bringing horsemanship, community spirit, and over a decade of dedicated coaching to the Calgary Stampede Parade, we've got the Foothills County Riding Club and the Calgary Elite Drill Team.
15 riders today in black cowboy hats, pink show shirts, pink breast collars and leg wraps. Though I'm seeing mostly black here, so maybe they've changed up the look for this year's Stampede Parade. But very cool entry that proves great horsemanship is built on shared passion and volunteer heart.
All right, next, for over a century, Rotary has been showing up, and today they are rolling up to the Calgary Stampede Parade with a float telling the story of their 7 causes.
Absolutely. Rotary held their international conference in our city last year that brought so many people in, which was very impressive. Oh, I love this. The Calgary Firefighters Antique Brigade leading the fire department entry and honor guard. And I can hear in the distance the pipes. But this is the Antique Brigade leading things off in their 1923 La France fire truck, which was lovingly restored and maintained by generations of Calgary firefighters.
The Honor Guard has participated in the Stampede for over 25 years. Look at that little fella.
I'm just trying to see if we can see Fire Chief Steve Dongworth there. I'm sure he's amongst the proud members of the CFD, keeping this community safe.
And Blake, members of the Calgary Fire Department created the ceremonial unit, which became the Honor Guard, to ensure fallen members were honored appropriately. Honor our fallen is its motto.
Absolutely, and they're very involved in various charities in the city. They work throughout the year with the Calgary Firefighters Toy Association, and that leads us to the Calgary Fire Department Pipes and Drums.
The Calgary Fire Department Pipes and Drums Band features professional firefighters of the Calgary Fire Department. The band's roots started in the summer of 2001 when a group of firefighters and pipers organized what would become the Calgary Firefighters Piping Society.
Well, let's take a listen because I love the sound of bagpipes in the morning. Oh, how's that for a look on this Friday morning? Kicking off the Calgary Stampede with the Sick Motorcycle Riders Calgary group. They're all about brotherhood, community service, and of course, motorcycles. Amazing to see as we kick off Calgary Stampede with the 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade. You're watching our special broadcast. We're going to take a quick break, but we're back right after this.
You're watching the Calgary Stampede Parade, a global news special broadcast brought to you by House of Cars.
Welcome back to our special coverage of the 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade, kicking off 10 days of the greatest outdoor show on earth. I'm Blake Law, joined by Carolyn McKenzie from The Morning Show, out for your first Stampede in a very long time, and you couldn't ask for a better seat in the house when it comes to the parade. What have you thought so far?
Oh, I'm blown away, Blake. So I feel like I gotta qualify. I feel like I am a first timer yet. My family did make a out west trip when I was about 5, so there are pictures of me at Stampede, but I was quite young. It was a very long time ago, so I feel like I'm a first timer, really.
Right. Well, a lot of people in the crowd of roughly 300,000 people in downtown Calgary, first timers as well. Many of them making this a new tradition for their families. This is the Pioneer Acres Museum, located just 30 kilometers east of Airdrie near Irricana, making their first ever appearance in the parade. So welcome to the Pioneer Acres Museum.
In operation since 1969, this Western Heritage and Agriculture Museum celebrates the pioneering spirit of early Western Canadian homesteaders. And today, their volunteers are demonstrating live threshing of rye or wheat grain used an antique miniature threshing outfit right on the moving float.
So interactive, love that. Here we have the Philippines Chamber of Commerce Calgary celebrating the vibrant spirit of the Filipino community. This entry showcases the warmth, resilience, and entrepreneurial excellence of Filipinos in Calgary and beyond.
And you can see adorned with the colors of the Philippine flag and proudly featuring symbols of culture, unity, and the Calgary Stampede spirit. The float is a celebration of heritage, community, and friendship.
All right, here is Canada's oldest and largest youth marching band, the Burlington Teen Tour Band. They are in their 79th year with approximately 150 young musicians who have represented Canada's youth on the world stage for many, many years. Let's listen in to the Burlington Teen Tour Band in this Calgary Stampede Parade. Fantastic stuff from the Burlington Teen Tour Band with those British military-style uniforms, one of the most recognized youth musical organizations in the world.
All right, marking 31 incredible years of teaching Calgarians the art of balance, strength, and inner peace. Kai Tai Chi is one of the most decorated Chinese martial arts schools in Canada.
Yeah, their students make up the majority of Canada's national Tai Chi and Wushu team, competing at international competitions all around the world. And today, 40 of them are bringing that excellence to the parade route.
Watch the flash of swords, sabers, spears, and staffs as Wushu students perform alongside the float. This is the power of Kai Tai Chi, live and in motion.
And how cool is that? The Calgary Tai Chi and Martial Arts College with their massive float as well. It's incredible to see the work, the hours that go into preparing for this parade. It's a 5-kilometer long route, and they're doing martial arts the whole way through.
I imagine you talked about steps a little earlier, right? They're not only walking it, but they're going the next level as well, doing the martial arts. So that's a lot of calories.
A lot of calories there, yeah.
Burned.
They're done their cardio for the day, I would think. But great to see the Kai Tai Chi Life by the Kai Tai Chi and Martial Arts Foundation entry in this year's Stampede Parade.
I don't know if you mentioned it, Blake, but this team, they compete internationally, so many competitions around the world, and 40 of the team member are bringing that excellence to the parade route.
All right, here we have some of the Calgary City Council. The City of Calgary, obviously a very close partner and longtime partner of the Calgary Stampede, providing the current 100-year lease of Stampede Park. The strength of the relationship has made it possible to continue to share the Stampede's festivities with all Calgarians in every corner of the city. So these are some local councillors. It is such a strong partnership. We have 14 city councillors, a few riding in the parade today. And there's a lot happening, Carolyn, on Stampede grounds. There's a couple years ago, we had the expansion of the convention center there. There's a new boutique hotel being constructed. People who don't follow Calgary news, I hate to tell you that the Saddle Dome, the iconic Saddle Dome, home of the Calgary Flames, is coming down, but a new event center is currently under construction. So very, very busy at Stampede Park. Here we have the Tsuut'ina Nation Police Service, one of 36 First Nations police agencies in Canada. The Tsuut'ina Nation Police Service, known traditionally as Taskuna, is making their first appearance in the Calgary Stampede Parade.
Now, their float features a traditional Tsuut'ina teepee alongside their chief of police and mascot, Brave the Buffalo. There he is there, with officers and their families walking alongside in ribbon skirts, regalia, and uniforms.
It is a truly community-based police service. It's rooted in culture, in connection, and with a deep respect for Tsuut'ina identity. You can see it right there on the float. Integrity, courage, respect. This I'm excited about, Carolyn. Skajor, Alberta.
Okay, well, I can see why. You know, we've seen horses in summer, but have you ever seen them in winter?
Listen, I tried skijoring myself. It's a sport where, as it's sort of being demonstrated here, just imagine skis instead of rollerblades. You get pulled behind a galloping horse and you get launched off jumps, do flips and tricks and all sorts of stuff. Skajor, Alberta has really grown in the last little bit, founded by Alberta horsewoman Kate Sanford. It was created to celebrate Western heritage in the winter months.
All right, look who is back, Little Obi.
Little Obi's here.
And he brought his pal Milo this year. CN Rail's beloved miniature locomotive returns for over a downtown Calgary with his message, all aboard for safety. I don't know if that's how he says it, but I gave him my best shot.
With some gusto there, I like it. Little Obi travels across Western Canada all year round, teaching kids and families about why playing near the tracks is never safe. On board today, we've got CN employees, retirees, junior railroaders, and CN police.
Okay, the country's talking about this. I know you guys are ready for Grey Cup because it's coming to town.
It certainly is, and here we have the 2026 Grey Cup Festival Committee, the host committee, officially announcing that Canada's biggest football celebration will be hosted in Calgary for the 6th time. And they're really getting the excitement and the fun started with this morning's entry. You see all the CFL teams there represented. And we've got to, of course, recognize the Calgary Stampeders and the Grey Cup itself right there on the wagon.
Sunday, November 15th, as we're circling dates on the calendar. Sunday, November 15th for Grey Cup.
Listen, Carolyn, Calgary knows how to throw a party. Calgary definitely knows how to throw a CFL party. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to see some of the Stampeders a little bit later. They're coming off a pretty lopsided victory last night in the Stampede Bowl, so we'll watch out for them. But certainly excitement brewing in this city. I mean, we got to get through Stampede first. Everyone's excited about Stampede, but yes, circling on the calendar later this year, the Grey Cup returning to Calgary.
Calgary hosting, this will be the 6th time.
6th time, yeah.
Calgary hosting the Grey Cup.
All right, for the 5th year, the Canadian Walk for Veterans is bringing a powerful reminder to the streets of the Stampede Parade. Those who have served our country deserve our unwavering support.
And this national walk raises funds for Canadian Armed Forces members, veterans, and their families.
15 volunteers are riding today in branded t-shirts and hats in a Canadian military vehicle, carrying a message that never goes out of style. Thank you for your service.
And the funds raised also support local initiatives like the Veterans Association Food Bank, the Military Family Resource Center, and vital programs for those who have given so much.
And we see it more with these parade entries, those QR codes on the side of the floats or the vehicles will lead you to more information about the Canadian Walk for Veterans and the Veterans Association Food Bank, of course doing very important work for military veterans in our community.
And we've been talking about how all the floats and part of the procession, everyone has been having a theme and a message. Well, the message is quite clear with this float, and that's thank you for your service.
Absolutely. We are keeping an eye on things as the parade has slowed down. That tends to happen when you have over 120 entries making their way through a 5-kilometer long stretch of downtown roadways. But so far, Carolyn, I mean, we've seen some incredible stuff from the floats to the world-class marching bands. Of course, the animals, it's always a hit. And as we look out behind us where we're stationed, just across from the Calgary Tower, so many people coming out to take in the parade.
And as we were saying earlier, I was just so impressed just to see how committed everyone was. The chairs out so early and people camping out. All right, now we're looking at the Calgary Vietnamese community, the Calgary Vietnamese Canadian Association.
Beautiful celebration of Vietnamese culture. The Calgary Vietnamese Canadian Association brings traditional Ao Ye cultural performances and the warm community spirit of Vietnam's heritage to Stampede Park. They are in a holding pattern right now as we wait for things to get going. You know, Carolyn, it is pretty incredible how big this parade is. The second largest parade in North America, and it has more than 700 horses that are part of it. You would expect things to go wrong with that many animals on a route, but it rarely does. It's always on time, it always moves smoothly, and that's sort of a testament to the quality of the animals, how well trained everyone is, and it's really sort of ingrained in this community.
Well, sure, and it also speaks to you, and hats off to everyone who is part of this parade. It goes to show how long you have been doing this, because it's a well-oiled machine that this goes off so well each and every year.
Absolutely, and that is a testament also to the many, many volunteers. There are about 200 volunteers who are specifically with the parade committee, about 3,000, more than 3,000 Stampede volunteers who, you know, we obviously are focused on today and the official kickoff to the parade, or to the Stampede, and of course the 10 days of Stampede, but this is an all year round thing. Volunteers with Stampede host breakfasts, they do community outreach all year round.
So again, we are looking at the Calgary Vietnamese Canadian Association, founded to support Calgary's Vietnamese community through cultural events, educational programs, and public celebrations. This group of 20 proud performers represents the color, grace, and pride of their homeland right here in the heart of Alberta.
Oh, and how cool is that? So many of these cultural floats, how intricate they are, how detailed, how beautiful they are with all these flowers. Many of these are handcrafted and built by volunteers. They put countless hours into creating these magnificent floats. And this is a really nice one, especially that message on the side. Thank you, Calgary. So many of the different, the diverse communities in this city love to give back and showcase what they're made of during Stampede.
And we were talking about the power of the volunteers. The last couple of days, we've been here for a couple of days shooting. The for the morning show, and I was so impressed with. I had a Stampede breakfast, a pancake breakfast over at Stampede Park, and I was so impressed with the volunteers who served and then wrapped it all up, and then the next crew came in. I'm talking about this well-oiled machine. I'm so impressed with how everything operates.
It is incredible, and you talk to some volunteers where, they knew somebody who volunteered, they maybe got roped into it, but then it's something that they stick with for literally decades. We have so many long-time Calgary Stampede volunteers who just put in so much effort into making this one of the most unique celebrations in North America, and just an incredible showcase of Western traditions and also Western hospitality, because that's really what it's all about.
Well, and it's a source of pride. And you, as a visitor, you can, but as a fellow Canadian, you make me proud. When I come here and I see how well you all do this each and every year, this 10-day extravaganza, I'm proud as a Canadian taking part of it. I'm so proud of you all. You do such a great job.
It certainly is a source of pride. And you can tell just by the faces of everyone who's participating in this parade this morning, a source of pride for them as well. We are stationed broadcasting live from just underneath the Calgary Tower in downtown Cowtown. And all right, we got things moving again, which gives us the opportunity to highlight the Calgary Stetson Show Band.
In their signature black and gold, we're looking at the Calgary Stetson Show Band, and they sound incredible. Formed in 1988 as a marching show band for high school students, let's have a listen to the Stetson Show Band.
Approximately 100 members in that black and gold, bringing tradition to the 2026 Stampede Parade. We're going to take a short break. The 2026 Stampede Parade continues after this.
You're watching the Calgary Stampede Parade, a global news special broadcast brought to you by House of Cars.
Welcome back to our special coverage of the 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade. I'm Blake Law with Carolyn McKenzie, and we got to get right back to the action here, Carolyn, because this is a big parade. Still lots more entries to go.
Yeah, it is the biggest parade ever. So yes, let's get right back to the action. And we are looking at the Calgary Stampede Lotteries. If you haven't got your tickets yet, here's your reminder.
There's that QR code, because yes, there are so many prizes up for grabs. Calgary Stampede Lotteries has been one of the city's most beloved charitable traditions for over 72 years. And the entry this year showcasing all the ways you can win while still giving back to the community. If you go down to Stampede grounds, you can see a lot of those prizes, the various trucks, campers, very fun toys that are up for grabs. And there's also, of course, the Millions 50-50, the Kinsman Million, the Rotary Dream Home, which they put right there on the grounds, also up for grabs.
So many things up for grabs, but know that all the money that is raised, millions of dollars raised, goes to local charities and youth programs at Stampede Park every single year.
Love seeing these shots of the crowd this Friday morning as we officially kick off the 2026 Calgary Stampede. We've been hearing hundreds of people right below us, Carolyn, with their big yahoos as the various floats have gone by. Someone's got to separate these brothers. We need more floats going by, or else we're going to have a situation on our hands. And look at this young lad in the full cowboy garb. I love that.
I love it. He's moments from entering the parade himself. Ooh, welcome to Ghana. The Canadian Association of Calgary is making their very first appearance in the Calgary Stampede Parade.
Founded in 1980, the GCAC has spent over 4 decades uniting Calgary's Ghanaian community and celebrating the music, dance, and traditions of one of West Africa's most vibrant cultures. And we talked earlier with some of the other entries how vibrant it is, how much energy it brings to the parade route. The Ghanaian Canadian Association of Calgary is certainly delivering on that front.
And today, over 80 participants from all 10 of GCAC's ethnic groups marched together in stunning traditional Ghanaian attire.
I love that mix of the Ghanaian colors and the Ghana flag and the traditional dress being worn there, combined with the white Calgary Stampede cowboy hat.
Yes. Very symbolic, that combination. But yes, the beaded accessories, the head wraps, the jewelry, all of it celebrating people's roots.
It does feel kind of reminiscent. You mentioned earlier the World Cup is happening. Canada, one of the co-hosts of that massive tournament. And just how much events like that bring people together. Obviously, you're showcasing what makes you different, but you're all celebrating in the same place and supporting one another and just highlighting the diversity of our community.
And the sense of pride everyone has, for sure, where their roots are come from. All right, we are looking now at the Royal Canadian Legion, 100 years celebrating. A once in a century milestone the Royal Canadian Legion is celebrating here at the Calgary Stampede Parade.
Such an important organization and service, founded back in 1926 to support veterans returning from the First World War. The Legion has since grown into one of Canada's largest non-profit organizations. Here we have Buttercup, a military tank decorated with poppies and the Legion's 100th anniversary logo driven by 20 to 25 Legion members in their iconic red shirts.
And of course, the poppies and the red shirts show support for our service members.
Royal Canadian Legion, marking
Weird.
100 years. Okay, that's the Dynamic Energy Group.
A rustic
Passing
wagon.
by here in that wagon. Oh, and this, Carolyn, is an entry that I love seeing every year. This is Code of Honor from Coding for Veterans. Very interesting group celebrating the connection between military service and Canada's growing tech sector. So it's all about the organization's mission to support Canadian Armed Forces veterans as they transition into civilian life through careers in cybersecurity, software development, and artificial intelligence.
And as you mentioned, Blake, the float features Canadian Armed Forces imagery, a QR code linking to program details, and parade riders made up of veterans and active members in uniform and cowboy hats.
All right, this year we're welcoming 13 ladies representing various rodeos around the Calgary area. They joined some of our regulars from Cochrane, Ponoka, Strathmore, Okotoks, Drayton Valley, Tabor, Staveley, Rockyford, and Sundre. And very special guest, we've got Miss Rodeo Canada, Moose Mountain, and Australia.
Okay, and a quick look. That was Stampede Moving and Storage passing on by. You won't find another moving truck quite like the one we just saw.
Now we're really cooking here. We're on the move as we welcome Calgary Sports and Entertainment. Representatives from all 5 of CSEC's Calgary teams, the Flames alumni, the Flames Ice Crew, the Stampeders, oh my goodness, the Roughnecks, the Wranglers. So, such a healthy sports community here in Calgary, and Calgary Sports and Entertainment is really where it all lives. Oh, Reggie Bagleton's there on the wagon. Oh, there it is. I was waiting for that. The Stampede Bowl trophy that was won by the Calgary Stampeders last night in a wild win over the Toronto Argonauts. That was such a fun game to watch. The second annual Stampede Bowl, they really tried to tie in Calgary's CFL game with the greatest outdoor show on earth, and so far it's been a big success.
And over 18 years of parade appearances, CSEC has been a proud part of this city's biggest celebration.
Well, you were talking about Stampede pancake breakfasts.
I think I recognize some of the gals out there. I think they fed me the other day.
These are the people who make it happen. We've got the beloved Stampede Park Antique Trolley. Some very lucky riders on board. The Calgary Stampede Park Breakfast Events Committee has spent decades welcoming generations of Calgarians with free admission and a complimentary breakfast on Tim Hortons Family Day, TC Energy Community Day, and BMO Kids Day.
So make sure to head on down to Stampede Park, as I have, and I will again before the weekend's out, to enjoy free pancakes, free stage shows, and the full excitement of the Calgary Stampede.
Great information to be sharing with the thousands of people along the route, all the value days to really stretch your dollar over the 10 days of Stampede. A lot of work goes into making Stampede available to everyone in our community.
All right, we are looking at Pete Knight Rodeo, a tribute to one of the Calgary Stampede's greatest legends, Pete Knight.
Yeah, Pete Knight won the Saddle Bronc Championship at the Calgary Stampede not once, not twice, but 3 times, earning the right to keep the Prince of Wales trophy permanently.
And I think we're looking at the future cowboy and cowgirls.
Absolutely, yep. These are some of the riders that you can bet will be competing at GMC Stadium someday in the future. The Foothills Cowboys and Cowgirls Rodeo Series is one of Alberta's longest running junior rodeo organizations, and a place to learn sportsmanship, horsemanship, and character through rodeo.
Now let's welcome in the Calgary Chinese community. And they just won Best Creative and Innovative Entry.
Ooh, okay. Congratulations to the United Calgary Chinese Association.
As we know, 2026 is the year of the horse, and the United Calgary Chinese Association has the perfect tribute.
Yeah, let's see if we can, oh, there's those terracotta soldiers, it looks like. UCCA bringing 38 years of parade tradition and this spectacular theme, which is the Terracotta Army and the horses of the Qin Dynasty.
That's right. UCCA brings 38 years. There's the flow. 38 years of parade tradition and a spectacular theme. The Terracotta Army and horses of the Qin Dynasty, as you mentioned. Representing Calgary's Chinatown community since 1969 and serving as the umbrella for 26 Chinese associations in the city.
It is such a vibrant community in Calgary. As I said earlier, Chinatown is just a few blocks away. Here we have about 70 performers in dragon dance, lion dance, traditional drum uniforms, marching with a float that honors thousands of years of Chinese history.
I think we were seeing firsthand why they won Best Creative and Innovative Entry.
Celebrity judge and local celebrity himself, Andrew Fung, was talking earlier about what he's watching for as he helps dole out these awards. And he talked about a theme, kind of a cohesive theme and a story to tell with lots of energy. And as he said, vibes. And I certainly would say United Calgary Chinese Association checks all the boxes on that front.
Okay, next we have the Calgary Western Riders. For over 70 years and more than 60 appearances in the Calgary Stampede Parade, the Calgary Western Riders have been keeping the West Western.
Absolutely. Comprised of riders from age 3 all the way up to age 80. They compete in barrel racing, pole bending, stake racing, flag picking, and keyhole events every month from May through September.
All right, the crowd looking to see who is next, and there we have it.
You want to talk about a fan favorite. The Al-Azhar Shriners certainly fit the bill. They are always a huge part of the Stampede, injecting a whole lot of fun into the parade. They've been part of every Stampede parade since 1912. So this year, as it is the 114th edition of the Stampede Parade, 114 years, the Shriners of Southern Alberta have been there. Approximately 275,000 members across 194 chapters in 40 countries. Shriners International supports 22 Shriners Children's Hospitals. And since 1922, the organization has positively impacted the lives of more than 1 million children. So you can see the sort of international component of this, but this is what people love to see are the little Tin Lizzies coming up in their iconic biplanes, wearing their red fez hats, unit uniforms, and just bringing so much community spirit because, as they say, Carolyn, charity and joy are never mutually exclusive.
Well, those look fun.
I've been wanting for years, since I watched my very first broadcast of the Calgary Stampede, to drive one of these Tin Lizzies.
And you still haven't had a
And I still
shot?
haven't done it. Not yet. Still holding out hope. But obviously some really important work that the Al-Azhar Shriners do all around the world, but particularly in Southern Alberta, helping children in our community. And Listen, this entry isn't done yet. These are more of the Shriners. They've got the best vehicles. I know we're all about the horses, right, and the animals during the Calgary Stampede Parade, but the Shriners really have got it figured out when it comes to their vehicles.
They really do, and as you mentioned, 275,000 members across 194 chapters in 40 countries.
Oh, we got some Hawaiian shirts, bringing some tropical vibes on a sunny Friday morning here in downtown Calgary.
And you know they are putting smiles on kids' faces along this parade route, but they've been helping the lives of more than 1 million children over the decades.
Yeah, those smiles, it says it all, really. As I said, this is definitely a crowd favorite and one of the larger entries. We've got 70 members here from...
Oh, he's going in the wrong direction. Oh,
multiple
no, just circling,
Shriners.
just doing a U-turn.
Yeah, no, just to, yeah. Any little bump in the road, you're certainly feeling it in those little cars. Great stuff from the Al Azhar Shriners once again, and hey, why not bring in old Saint Nick himself, spreading some Christmas cheer on a hot day in July.
I saw the parade last year from home, and I was watching it online, and I said, hold on, is that Santa? And he has returned.
At least he cut the or rolled up his sleeves.
He's rolled up his sleeve, and I think he's trimmed the beard a little bit because it's warmer. It's warmer these days than the winter months, obviously.
July, but great to see the Shriners passing through.
Oh, we've lost a spectator.
Oh,
He's pooped.
Yeah, he is tuckered out.
It's a long parade.
It's a big parade, the biggest in history, in fact, over 120 entries. And this is the latest one passing by us now, the Métis Nation of Alberta. Smoke and smudge to 21-year-old Percheron half-brothers who give wagon tours at the historic Bar U Ranch south of Calgary. They are carrying that legacy right through the heart of downtown Calgary with the Métis Nation of Alberta.
Yeah, and that entry honors the Métis contribution to Alberta's ranching heritage, the enduring partnership between horse and human.
All right, the Mexican community of Calgary representing once again. This is the best of Mexico, sharing vibrant Mexican culture through music, dance, and art.
Beautiful costumes, beautiful outfits. Viva la Danza promoting the Mexican festival at the BMO Center. And for the first time, the Asalong group, who will take part at the Powwow Festival.
Oh, okay, very cool. And here we have the Lele doll, whose name means baby in Otomi. It originates from Mexico, and again, another display of creativity and ingenuity as these volunteers for these cultural floats put together these incredible pieces.
All right, for the first time, the Bangladesh Canada Association of Calgary participates in the Stampede Parade, representing more than 20,000 Bangladeshi Calgarians with pride.
Very, very impressive float here. Established in 1971 and registered as a non-profit since 2006, BCAOC has built community and connection in our city for decades. Today, 100 participants in traditional Bangladeshi dress bring the color, culture, and spirit of Bangladesh to downtown Calgary.
And here we have the Fort Calgary Wheel and Runner Outriders. In their 51st year, the Fort Calgary Wheel and Runner Outriders are still riding strong, Blake.
Yeah, absolutely. Founded by Joanne Wilson to represent how goods and mail were transported in and out of historic Fort Calgary, this family-friendly volunteer club has been a fixture in local parades for over 50 years. They bring horses to Christmas parades and community events across Calgary, sharing the joy and responsibility of horsemanship with new generations.
All right, are you ready to beam yourself up?
Beam me up, Carolyn.
The official Star Trek capital of Canada has returned.
The town of Vulcan. Welcome back to the town of Vulcan, boldly going where no small Alberta town has gone before for over 30 years, welcoming visitors from across the galaxy to see their legendary Star Trek connection.
Since 2010, Vulcan has proudly held the title of Star Trek Capital of Canada. Their iconic Enterprise float leads today's crew, all in full Star Trek uniforms and costumes, as they invite everyone to beam into Vulcan and see what this remarkable community is all about.
I remember going to Vulcan years ago as the community hosted Spock himself, Leonard Nimoy, before he passed away. So just a very cool sort of unique thing in a very small Alberta town, this very strong connection to Star Trek. We've got a little break in the action here at the 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade, but you can see the folks lining the route in downtown Calgary.
Hydrating,
very important.
On a warm day like today, but no one is complaining because this is spectacular weather.
I don't know if we could have better weather for
know.
a parade, which is interesting given all the rain we've had recently, but things clear up when it matters, when you're officially kicking off the greatest outdoor show on earth. When it's outdoors, we don't need the rain, right? Just hold off for 10 days. But so many families make this an annual tradition. I know early this morning, I arrived here underneath the Calgary Tower at 5 o'clock this morning, Mountain Time, and I probably had a dozen people in the immediate area who had beaten me down with their lawn chairs. They got their spot, they held on to it because they know, having a front row seat to a spectacle like this is very cool.
We are now looking at the only high school marching and show band, the Sound of the Rockies. And the only high school marching and show band in Calgary, this is them.
Yeah, 148 very talented members from high schools across Calgary. This ensemble performs multiple musical genres from classic rock to modern pop, even Latin pop.
The Sound of Rockies has performed across Europe, Japan, Australia, Canada, and the U.S., bringing musical excellence and Canadian spirit to audiences around the world.
I have to say, I love it when a marching band plays a more like contemporary song. Like I could just pick out their Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
Very nice. So let's listen in to Sound of the Rockies High School Marching Band. Great job by Sound of the Rockies. You just saw there the Alberta Standardbred Horse Association in its Stampede Parade debut,
And,
showcasing the excitement, tradition, and pure athleticism of standardbred harness racing.
and now we have the Alberta Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call, Blake? The Alberta Ghostbusters are here, and they are raising money for local charities, one proton, did I say that correctly? Proton pack at a time.
Proton Pack. You nailed it. This group of costume enthusiasts, they've been dressing as Ghostbusters for over a decade, raising over $50,000 for the Alberta Children's Hospital and other local causes. Up to 50 members are part of this group, province-wide, all in their trademark flight suits. And every year, the spectators get louder, the crowd gets bigger, the smiles get wider. These are some pretty dedicated fans and also dedicated to giving back, which is very special. Oh, I can hear the Ghostbusters theme. And folks, that was the final entry in this 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade. Carolyn, what did you think?
Oh my goodness, I'm just taking it all in, and you can see the first responders closing out the parade. They do such an amazing job as well, keeping this city and all the visitors safe over the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely. The biggest parade that Stampede has ever put on.
I'm coming back, Blake. I'm coming back.
You've got to. You're going to be hooked now.
You know, I got initiated. This is just the beginning. I know Jeff from the morning show has come here the last few years, but I think we're going to be fighting for this gig.
Listen, I've been fighting to have you come out here because Jeff can't have all the fun.
I know.
I know you, in a few short days, you were initiated to the whole Stampede experience, which was very cool. I know you got more on the way that you'll be featuring on the morning show, but for us here in Calgary, I mean, this kicks it off. We had sneak a peek last night, but once this parade wraps up, as it is right now, then we've got a full 10 days of Stampede fun.
And what's kind of cool today is that so many people here are now going to head to Stampede Park, and we were talking about some of the value packages that you can take advantage of, and today admission is free to the public until 1 p.m.
Absolutely, yeah. Get your Stampede experience started off right on the first Friday. Sunday is Family Day, where admission is free until 11. They've got a free pancake breakfast happening that morning as well. That was one that I was looking at, having a little baby at home, get the family out to the Stampede grounds. And but much more. We have got Community Day on Tuesday as well, which is free admission for everyone from 10 to 1 p.m. And free admission all day for seniors 65 plus.
But so much to look forward to. I mean, the grandstand show this year headlined by Alberta's own High Valley alongside the Young Canadians. I'm just itching to see the rest of it.
So you've had a lot of experiences so far, but you haven't yet, correct me if I'm wrong, you haven't yet seen a live chuck wagon race.
No. Or the relay races.
Which are going to be an even bigger part of the nighttime show. They're actually going to be broadcast on TV this year as well, which is amazing. But once you're down there at GMC Stadium and you see the rodeo live and in person, I think you will be hooked. I think you'll be coming back again and again.
Oh, 100%. I've brought my family. They're first timers. I'm just so happy to be here, and thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this very special kickoff to the Calgary Stampede. Thank you so much for watching and following along. And a big shout out to all the volunteers with Calgary Stampede that made it possible. You've been watching the 2026 Calgary Stampede Parade special broadcast. For Carolyn McKenzie, I'm Blake Law. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Yahoo!
Yahoo!
This is expected to be the biggest Calgary Stampede parade yet. 35 floats, 9 world-class marching bands, about 700 horses will be making their way through downtown Calgary. Stampede starts now.